Hi everybody, Tommy Heffernan here from Precision Microbes, and I'm inside in the kitchen of Norma and Brian Rohan's farm here in County Laois. And we're here for a very special reason. We're here to talk about a very important charity that both of you have been involved with and set up, called Embracefarm. The kids are in the background with a cup of tea on the table. Thanks for having us, lads.
No bother. Very welcome. Tommy.
Norma, can I start with you first? Embracefarm. What is Embracefarm?
So Embracefarm came about after Brian's dad died here in the farm. It was 6 days after Julie was born, our eldest, just home from the hospital here when the accident happened. And I suppose we spent the next 12 months after Brian's dad dying in a state of shock, really. Until one day Brian kind of came and asked me to look for some kind of support. What supports were out there, and we found none. There wasn't anywhere that was specific for farming families that we could go to. So as the year had been tough, as most men, they said they don't be talking. So when he actually looked for something,
You responded.
Yeah, and so when we couldn't find anything, we said we would have a remembrance service. So we had the first remembrance service in 2014. And the purpose of that was just to do a roll call of all those farmers that had died. I guess farmers are out there every day producing food for us all to live and for us all to survive. So when they die doing that work, we just felt the likes of Brian's dad deserved to be more than just a number. So that was the start of it, Embracefarm, the remembrance service, and honouring those who had died. It has developed since. We're in our 11th year now. We provide residential bereavement weekends, we provide support services, we have an in-circle programme that provides one-on-one tailored supports of counselling, independent practical consultations and legal, financial and business management.
Can I just, because I imagine, and I don't know what it's like, but I imagine when it happens to people, there's just this numbness and chaos of what to do. So essentially, and I know from talking to people who've maybe had your support, it's bringing a little bit of order in when there's chaos as well, and just helping people through.
We just listen to them.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. Just to be able to listen and talk to someone that's gone through it. We can't fix their problems, but we can guide them through their problems.
And I imagine your own experience, Brian, as Norma said at the very start, losing your dad in a farm accident, allows you to, through that pain, allows you to have an understanding to begin with. And I suppose, sadly, to give people a bit of background why we're here and why Precision Microbes came down was very much we were here at Silage Additive. I was in sales mode and talk about microbes, but we went back to the car. You told me the story about your dad, before I got in the car, we had a chat for about 5 minutes about a story of a young child losing their life on farm, around machinery, around silage time. And it stuck with me, that your kids are behind me. I have kids. It's the worst case scenario you can imagine. And I suppose I went back to the team. I said, there's something we can do with Embracefarm. So we're hopefully going to raise a few bob for you over the silage season. But Brian, that experience of you losing your dad, but all those other experiences now, you're able to, I suppose, give people advice or a sounding board. You said sometimes maybe not say something, just listen, is it?
Yeah, just listen is the big thing, because you can't plan for when an accident happens. You just couldn't describe to somebody what you're going to go through. It's like being hit by a truck every day for a number of days. And I was farming with Dad since I was the size of Liam there or younger. I loved the farm, and that's where I got my love of farming. I got days off school for herd tests. It was brilliant. To get any day off school was brilliant. And grew up loving it. And then for something that you love to take away your father from you like that, just horrendous.
And I suppose, guys, you're very much, and we had a chat beforehand, you're very much there when things go wrong on farm, and it's not a nice job to do, but somebody's got to be there to do it, and a very important work. But on many farms like this, your Easter holidays, your kids here, you don't want to be seen as farm safety experts or anything like that, and you're very clear about that. But what I will say, and I want to finish on this message, and I think it's important that when we look at stories and impactfulness and just people, you see the extreme and the worst case scenario. Just a message for people maybe in silage season. in the yards that they're in. It's a very risky and dangerous time. You see the worst case scenario. What would you say to people just in relation to being safe? I know you're not safety experts and you made a strong point about that, and I understand that you do what you do, but I think you could give valid probably advice to people, and just a reminder, it's busy on safety.
Look, there are many health and safety experts out there who have plenty of lists of things, but to do this and not do that, and I would encourage people to listen to those people. They are there to try and save your lives, but as a family ourselves, we have 3 young kids, and from a very young age we've always encouraged them not to just go down the yard by themselves. They've been toddlers to work the phone, they can pick up the house phone there and they ring Steady down the yard, and he knows they're coming down. So that's just one thing we've instilled in ourselves. They don't go down by themselves without an adult knowing. That's always been the case. But for others out there, I guess when you're going out in the morning to do your day's work, you're not expecting something bad to happen. As just when you put on the wellies to go down the yard or go do the day's work, that whatever you're at, just to be mindful of it, to make sure that you come back in that door again that evening to the family that's inside waiting for you.
Take your time. Again, I know, I'm sure I'm the worst myself. I'm always taking a chance cutting the corner. And again, Brian, I suppose to ask you the same question a little bit to finish up with. It's been a hard year in farming. It's a wet winter. It's raining outside. It's bloody the first week of April. People are tired physically, mentally. It's probably when times of accidents do happen. From your experience, again, from just to follow up on what Norma said, maybe you made an impact on me in that story. What would you say to people, just to preempt accidents?
Yeah, look, we're in a late spring. Everything is going to be late now. Like, there's ploughing not done, sowing not done yet, and by the time that's all caught up with, silage is going to be here. If the weather ever does take up, it will take up in time. But there's big excitement when the big machines come into farms. Kids are there, they're looking out with these flashing lights and shiny tractors and equipment coming. Just be mindful of that. The guys that are coming in driving these machines, they could be after working 18, 19 hour days for 5 or 6 days in a row, because in fairness to them, they want to get the job done for each customer as quick as they can. But just to be mindful of that, the lads are tired, you have kids there, just maybe walk out of them to a safe place to watch the machinery working from a safe distance.
I think that's a good thing, and I just say to Cameron, just if you're listening to that, it might be the trigger for somebody just to stop for a second, to just say, look, I'm going to just step back here, take safety, or think about it. Remember that conversation, because you've seen the consequences of it.
We do, and we see the contractors coming in here too as well, feeling under pressure to put kids up in the cabs with them, and God love them, they feel that pressure and they don't know how to say no to the farmers as well. So maybe don't be putting the contractors in that position as well. And I suppose most farms are all around narrow country roads. When those machines go out, they will go out because the weather will turn good for them. Slow down on the roads as well.
Okay. Norma, for your people, and thank you for sharing your kitchen with us this morning in Easter. It's a busy time of year, and I appreciate the work that both of you are doing, and thanks for telling me that story, Brian, and hopefully we can contribute a little bit towards your story towards over the silage season. Contact details for Embracefarm. How do people find out more, Norma?
Yeah, just have a look on our Facebook page, website embracefarm.com, or drop us an email, info@embracefarm.com. All of our contact details are up there.
Thank you both this morning, and I have to say you were getting the kitchen ready for me, our arrival this morning. It's a busy farm, and you were also commenting on the fact that you're involved in several things down the village. I think it's great, people like you are why things happen and things are done in communities, villages, and in the ag community, the work you're doing. So well done to both of you.
Thanks,
I suppose just finishing up as well, that it's not just farm accidents that we're supporting families, it's all types of sudden death on the farm, be it heart attack, cancer, suicide. We cover all aspects when there's a fatality on a farm.
Okay, good point, and I think unfortunately it's a sad topic, but it's a very real topic, and so thanks to you both.
Thanks, Tommy.